师好。你好。
老师好。
你好。我是老师。谢谢。
谢谢。
感谢。谢谢。你好。
老师好。
你叫什么名字？
我叫赵世科。
你好。
谢谢老师。
你好，你好。帽子不戴了，帽子不戴。好，现在上课了。老师好。
老师好。
好，我姓柴，柴老师。Today we speak English. It's the orientation class. There will not be many opportunities that you can speak English in class. So, except the fact class, okay, a number of fact classes. So today, if you have any questions, any concerns or comments, feel free to jump in at any time. Okay, let's take a look at the syllabus. Text and the materials. Why do we not say textbooks? Why?
Yeah, they're not all books. There's like a DVD and everything.
Yes. So there are a few textbooks, but also there are also many audio files that you want to have along with these textbooks. The materials for reading and writing, okay? Beginning Chinese, character text for beginning Chinese, written transfer, volume 3. And next is the listening and the speaking materials, Chinese communicating in the culture. This is text 3. This is text 4. If you have taken Chinese 1101 and the Chinese 1102 before, then you have used the previous two texts. Okay? And now we are continuing. And along with the text, we have the audio files online. I will show you a bit later. And there is also an interactive program, DVD, that is not required in this list, but from my personal experience of the students learning, I highly recommend, because it is interactive. You hear the question and you look at the image as a cue, and it allows you some time to respond, and then you can listen to the example answer and you can compare. And you can also record your own voices, your own performance, and you hear it again and compare to the example audio. So that is a very effective learning tool. That is why I say the syllabus is not saying textbooks, because there are also a lot of audio materials, interactive programs. These are not auxiliary materials. These are maybe more important than the textbooks. You learn Chinese not only by reading the book. You listen a lot, and you speak a lot, especially for listening and speaking. All right, the goals of this course. Culture and the language, they are not separate. When you interact, communicate with the Chinese people, you are in this target culture, okay? And you have lots of communication. So only by learning the vocab and the grammar pattern is not enough. You want to know what are topics that Chinese appropriate to talk with Chinese people, and how do you approach these topics? When you are asked about some questions, what is the appropriate way to respond? What are the ways that you talk are not appropriate, that will make Chinese people feel uncomfortable? So the ultimate goal is that you communicate with Chinese people and you work with Chinese people in a way that Chinese people feel comfortable and are willing to keep working with you. Okay? So this is the goal of our entire Chinese program. And this course, level 2, to keep up building up the language skills that you have, okay, towards that goal. We, in this course, have 4 language skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So we have on different days, we use different materials focusing on different skills. So you want to check the common weekly schedule every day, get prepared, okay? And you will receive a grade upon your class performance every day. We'll get to that later. So make sure that you are well prepared in every day's class. So previously I was asked what is a fact class. And along with fact, we have act and act rehearsal. These are all classes when we use CCC, Chinese Communicating in the Culture, text 3 and 4, for listening, building listening and speaking skills. In Chinese Communicating in the Culture, this textbook, there are new lessons, right? And for each lesson, we have 4 classes to learn. The first 2 classes, fact rehearsal class, now in the new lesson, we have the new dialogue, right? Usually 4 or 6 lines, and a couple of drills, grammar patterns and functions. Say we have 1 dialogue and 6 drills, and we split into 2 days. On each of the fact rehearsal class, you perform the dialogue. You want to memorize the study and memorize the dialogue before coming to the class, and also perform in front of the class. Okay, we have some visuals and we have some props. And also, you study the drills beforehand. And in class, when teacher gives you prop and visuals and asks this question, you know how to respond. Say, we learned the drill, what's your name? My name is blah, blah, blah. This is what you learn in the drill. And then when we perform in class, you know how to respond. And you also know how to ask your classmate this question. Okay? So, we get practice of these, the dialogue and all the drills. Then, on the 3rd day, this is act class, you are expected of a higher performance on the same dialogue and the same drills. Okay, so the content are the same with the previous 2 days, and you want to perform in a better way. All these classes is performance in Chinese in class. It's expected its entire Chinese-speaking environment, the Chinese community. So make sure if we are speaking Chinese through the entire class. Okay? Then, on the last day, this is a fact class. If you have any concerns about any cultural points, any linguistic issues, bring them to class. The common content also has a fact handout for each lesson. You read that beforehand, take some notes, and we solve all the issues and concerns in class. Speak English. Okay? Get a brief idea if you have not taken this Chinese course before, and then you will get clarified along the way. Okay. So this is Strange Friends, 陌生的朋友. 1102 has watched part of it, and this semester we start from the middle, and then so the rest of this film is cut into several segments. One segment is around 10 to 15 minutes for each. Okay, so we use 3 classes for 1 segment. On the first class, now before the first class, you want to watch it a couple of times. So in the first class, students ask questions to each other. Think about what language you have learned before and how to form these questions correctly. On the second time, the teacher asks questions. It might be some similar questions or different questions. And on the 3rd time, you want to narrate, tell this story as the movie goes on. Use your own language. So think about what kind of language you have learned in the culture, and you recycle those language and tell the story by yourself. Okay? At the bottom of page 5, self-introduction, you will be giving your self-introduction in 1 or 3 times. Yeah. Deliver from memory, 1 or 2 minutes. Introduce yourself, who you are, what you like. Anything that you want your classmates to get to know you better. But think about, we are actually in the American classroom, but think about the audience might be Chinese people. So think about what kind of way that you're going to present will make Chinese people feel comfortable. Okay? This is one oral presentation, and the other is oral report. You pick a city in China, any city that you are interested in. You might go work in the future, any city. Okay? Imagine that your audience are also Chinese people, and so you want to make sure that your content and your way of delivery is appropriate to the Chinese audience, right? Okay, page 7, evaluation. So you attend class and you have daily grading for each day's performance. And you have midterm exam, final exam, self-introduction, report, and the written city reports. All these are graded. So make sure that you are prepared for each class and also get these projects or reports. And at the bottom of page 7, you see this 0 to 4, the 4-point scale. This is the way that your class performance is evaluated. So basically, in each class, you're actually getting 8 points divided by 2, 4 points. So the dialogue performance, so say in the listening and speaking classes, dialogue performance is 4 points, and the drill performance is also 4 points. And in reading and writing classes, if there are homework, then that is 4 points, and your class performance is also 4 points. Okay. If there is a little bit doubt, in fact class, the back quiz might be 4 as well. So in different situations, it's always divided by 2 different kinds of performance, but it is always evaluated based on this 4-point scale. All right. 4 means perfect performance, no foreignism. The Chinese interlocutor will feel very comfortable with interacting with you. Okay. 3.5, a little bit some errors, but it's not very consistent. Sometimes would hinder some smooth interaction. All right. 3, 2.5, 2, 1.5. So each maps for a different level of performance. If you are absent to class, you have opportunities to make it up. This course requires a lot on your self-study. The thing is, learning a foreign language is very time-consuming effort, and only by attending the class and listening to teacher, this is not enough. So you want to make your learning experience more effective. You want to get prepared on your own on the sections that you can do on your own, because all the audio files, the coaching, the DVD have all these things that you can self-study. So basically, for each 55 minutes class meeting time, you want to spend, usually people spend around 2 hours. Quickly, maybe 1 hour can be enough, but usually people do 2 hours and maybe even in 3 hours. This is a really great program. We have trained many successful learners in the past few years who are really hardworking and using the right, appropriate learning strategy. But I have also seen some people struggle by not following a right learning, the way of learning, and cannot keep up to the next level. So I really hope that you're not only hardworking, but you also work smartly to learn Chinese.
Okay, let's take care of names. Those of you, how many can remember to write your Chinese name? If you can write your Chinese name, write it.
Characters are big.
Well, characters on one side, pinyin on the other side.
I took the individualized instruction course from our
But they signed so beside this week.
Yeah.